once again! Yeah, it's me once again. And this time we're finally looking at Shattered Glass, the comic series. I've been very interested in, well, checking this out. It's just I haven't had the time, honestly. It's been, trying to say the very least the past few weeks. And dealing with a bunch of annoying stuff. Dealing with a bunch of annoying stuff overall. Anyway. Either way, yeah, I've been trying to get more views to you guys. It's just been a lot harder because I do have a full-time job, so, you know, I can't watch every single Transformers video, even if you guys would want me to. But I will be trying to have a reaction stream on Saturday, funny enough, to give that a try. And yes, guess what? It's going to be over on YouTube for once. Oh. Now, I say try because there is a possibility things could suddenly jump up and have to deal with stuff. Anyway, we're going to head into this, and we're going to deal with it. I'm not sure what to expect besides evil Autobots and good Decepticons.
It's not often that a Transformers concept or character originally created as a convention exclusive spreads beyond that into other media. And when it does happen, it's rarer still that it's as widespread and as talked about as today's subject. Shattered Glass.
Oh.
Let's dig into the basics.
Alright.
Shattered Glass was the creation of Fun Publications, the company who ran both the official Transformers convention BotCon and the Transformers Collectors Club from 2005 to 2016. As run by Fun Publications, each year at BotCon, an exclusive set of toys was released that revolved around a theme, accompanied by an exclusive comic book telling the character's story. And in 2008, the theme was that of a mirror universe of evil Autobots and heroic Decepticons.
I will say, these colorations are pretty... I just realized. Is that Starscream in Jetfire's coloration? That works pretty well. A lot of these colors are pretty good. Is that Grimlock? Yeah, it's Grimlock. I can tell because of the dinosaur head feet. I wonder what toy this was of him. Because all I remember is them doing recolors. But yeah, this couldn't be a new toy they made for him, from all I've heard. But still, these are some good-looking toys.
The mirror universe concept is a real old chestnut in science fiction, to the point that it's pretty amazing Transformers had never actually done it before. The idea goes back to the famous 1967 Star Trek episode Mirror, Mirror, an episode to which the very title Shattered Glass pays homage, with Shattered Glass Rodimus taking the loving nod even further by emulating the famous goatee worn by the Mirror Universe version of Mr. Spock.
Can I just say I am not a big fan of Star Trek? I've watched one or two of the new movies, and that's about it. Oh, and like one episode of, what was it, The New Adventures, or Next Generation. That's what it's called, because it had Sir Patrick. Anyway. Sir Patrick Stewart. Cannot speak today. But yeah, I'm surprised they haven't done it, because it's like a thing now everywhere, especially in comics. Comics is where it shows up the most because people get interested in how exactly they're different. Or interested in what aspects of them are changed. Or like, let's say, what is the opposite of Spider-Man? A selfish man that constantly uses his powers only for his selfish whims and only to make money in such ways. That would be what I would think. But there are several different ways you can go about making an evil alternate. Anyway. Let's head back into this.
Shattered Glass didn't get off to the smoothest of starts. Shortly before the convention, Fun Publications tried to play an April Fool's joke on the fandom by leaking what were purported to be a few pages from the exclusive convention comic, a comedic parody of Marvel's Transformers Generation 2 comic book,
Really?
gritty art style and all, in which the mirror universe concept was taken to its natural, silly extreme by depicting things like Grimlock as an evil genius
What?
and Jazz as a villainous Mr. T.
What?
It's fair to say they didn't get the response they were expecting, because fans actually loved the funny comic and were disappointed to discover it wasn't reflective of the story they were actually going to get.
Yeah,
so
I
it
would
was
be
that
too.
the April Fool comic writers Greg Sepelak and Trent Troop were brought on to punch up the dialogue for the actual Shattered Glass comic, introducing what humor they could.
I do want to say this real quick before I know I'm stopping a lot, but that's actually amazing that the original creators of the comic got to take part in this and punch up the dialogue.
To its more straight-faced story. The comic follows the Autobot Cliffjumper from the world of the Marvel Generation 1 comic book, as he's accidentally transported into the Shattered Glass universe, where, after the obligatory initial misunderstandings, he joins forces with the mathematician-turned-resistance fighter Megatron and his heroic Decepticons to stop the warlord Optimus Prime and his evil Autobots from embarking on a quest to conquer other planets by scuppering the launch of their ship, the Ark. Sepelak and Troop followed up the convention comic with a series of illustrated prose stories that were released through the Transformers Collectors Club website between 2008 and 2011. These tales furthered the reconceptualization of the Shattered Glass universe as a somewhat more humorous one, and saw the treacherous Rodimus betray Optimus Prime, hijacking the Ark and leaving his leader behind on Cybertron as he headed for Earth. While Megatron stayed behind to continue the fight against Optimus, Starscream took a team of Decepticons after Rodimus to Earth, where the Autobots allied with the criminal Witwicky family, and the Decepticons found friends of their own, heroic Mirror Universe versions of G1 cartoon villain Dr. Arkeville, bullies Billy and Fred from Transformers Armada.
Wow, this is interesting art, I'll say that much, but anyway.
And Marvel Comics supervillain Circuit Breaker.
Okay.
While these Earth adventures were playing out, with the Transformers attempting to establish a space bridge between worlds, or a stellar spanner, as it was called in this universe, the Transformers Collectors Club magazine ran a new comic strip, Reunification, in 2009, which checked back in on events going on Cybertron, as the planet came under threat from Optimus Prime's newest doomsday weapon, Omega Doom. Fortunately, into the middle of this conflict came Nexus Prime, one of the original 13 Primes, whose power transformed Megatron into Galvatron, and together, the pair put down Omega Doom's threat.
Cool.
A final prose story was planned to tie up loose ends before the Shattered Glass universe moved into its next phase, but Sepelak and Troop parted ways with Fun Publications, and the story was shelved, leaving several questions unanswered as the Shattered Verse plowed ahead regardless. At BotCon 2012, a new set of figures...
This is all very interesting. Like, it's different, but also the same, if you get what I'm meaning. It's hard to describe, because it is using characters we all know, but in different ways to where we wouldn't expect. I'm having a hard time explaining exactly what I'm feeling with this, but it's definitely interesting, and I kind of wish I could read some of it.
Accompanying comic book entitled Invasion followed Optimus Prime's even more evil brother, Ultra Magnus, as he invaded Cliffjumper's home universe, called the Classic Verse. Autobots and Decepticons of both worlds tried to stop the villain's plan, but they failed. Magnus succeeded in destroying the entire universe using the power of the Terminus Blade. Only
insane.
Classic Verse Earth was saved, transported into the Shattered Glass universe, along with several Classic Verse Autobots and Decepticons who crossed over with it. This radically changed landscape played host to the remaining Shattered Glass stories. The 2013 magazine comic Beast Wars Shattered Glass, in which teams led by the Classic Verse Ultra Magnus and Megatron were sent back in time to the prehistoric past of Shattered Verse Earth. Solar Requiem, a 2013 pack-in comic included with the club-exclusive Shattered Glass Blaster and Soundwave toys.
Okay, things are getting kind of all over the place with them going back in time along with this alternate universe. Things are getting a little crazy for me.
And 2015's magazine comic Another Light, a shattered version of the Transformers the movie. In this climactic story, Nexus Prime returned to help defeat the Shattered Verse Ultra Magnus, and the benevolent Shattered Verse Unicron recreated Optimus Prime as Nova Prime, sending him to stop the evil Shattered Glass Primus from trying to destroy the Classic Verse Earth. Everything came to a head when Classic Verse Earth was revealed to be Primus and Unicron's long-lost sister,
What?
Gaia, who destroyed the evil Primus and took his place as the Shattered Verse Cybertron. Finally, in 2016, the last year of the Collectors Club, some further side adventures in the Shattered Glass universe were released that took place in the gaps in the timeline, wrapping up all the dangling plot threads, including Spatio-Temporal Challengers, a short one of prose stories about the GoBots visiting the world, and unexpectedly at the last minute, the long-delayed final prose story from 2011, Coalescence, in which the Transformers contended with the menace of the Fallen, who sought to use the Underbase to conquer the entire mirror multiverse.
Well then.
And in addition to all these components of its main story, Shattered Glass was supplemented throughout its run by a variety of gag strips published in the Club magazine. The Shattered Glass universe isn't a mirror of any particular Transformers universe. It is largely Generation 1 inspired, but mirror versions of a few characters from other Transformers continuities have appeared in it. The approach the world takes to its characters varies. Sometimes they'll have the same fundamental personality as their regular counterpart, just with their morality switched. But at other times, their whole personality will be inverted, like a suave and intelligent Grimlock, or a Starscream who's extremely loyal. Instead of Energon cubes, there are Energon rods. Instead of sparks charged with positrons, Shattered Transformers have embers charged with electrons.
I mean, that's a little divisive, but I do kind of like how they're different in different ways. Like, not each one is just the same, but, you know, morality switch. It definitely makes it more interesting, at least to me.
Instead of the spherical Vector Sigma, Shattered Glass has the diamond-shaped Omega Terminus, and so on. As well as the toys I've already mentioned, multiple additional Shattered Glass figures were released through BotCon and the Collectors Club. And even characters created for the stories and comics who didn't become toys were all still visually based on existing figures with new color schemes. Again, there was no fixed pattern to how this worked. Sometimes they'd have brand new original color schemes. Sometimes they'd use their traditional colors. And other times they'd use the color schemes of other characters. Starscream, to use him as an example again, is colored like Jetfire. And some Shattered characters are even based entirely, colors and all, on pre-existing toys of different characters. For instance, Shattered Glass Elita 1 is based on the Transformers Cybertron Override GTS toy. As I said at the start of this episode, the influence of Shattered Glass has slowly but surely spread outside of Fun Publications' corner of the Transformers world. Had Transformers Animated made it to a 4th season, plans existed for a Shattered Glass episode in which Sari and Bulkhead would have been transported into a shattered version of the animated world. Ancillary animated media produced after the end of the series, some of it put out by FunPub themselves, has occasionally taken a look into this world, revealing a few character designs and story concepts.
I like that coloration for...
Vinyl figure company The Loyal Subjects.
For Starscream. I can't speak off from the top of my head sometimes.
Vinyl figure company The Loyal Subjects released a set of Shattered Glass Dinobots in 2014.
Oh wow.
Later that same year, the Transformers Legends mobile game ran a Shattered Glass event. A Shattered Glass themed recolor of the Masterpiece Optimus Prime figure was released by Hasbro Asia in 2016. And in the next few months, Hasbro will release Rodimus Unicronus as part of the Power of the Primes toy line, a recolored version of the new Rodimus Prime toy in Shattered Glass colors, beard and all, representing the Autobot leader after he's been taken over by the power of Unicron. This certainly proves that, even if Fun Publications' time as runner of the convention and club has passed, when it comes to convention-exclusive concepts, Shattered Glass has definitely shattered the glass ceiling.
Well, they seem to have fun with it at the very least.
And those are the basics on Shattered Glass. Check the description below for links to where you can read the pro stories, and don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and visit Patreon to support the show and choose the topics.
Oh, that's so cool.
Episodes.
I might take a look at those later. Maybe we should try a bit of voicing those for one of my comic dubs. That was a silly idea. But anyway, if you guys like what I'm doing here, please do consider subscribing. All that nice stuff you do for streamers. But I want to ask before I end things off. What do you guys think of Shattered Glass? Do you like it? Do you hate it? Do you think it's pretty interesting. I think it's interesting, so, you know, to each their own, doing their thing. Anyway, what else I was gonna say is, well, I kind of like a lot of the colorations for the Shattered Glass looks. I don't know what it is about them, especially for Megatron and Starscream. I don't know. Maybe it's that red, white, and blue color scheme that they do it just right with a bit of touch of gold. Either way, yeah. I do want to know what you guys would like us to watch next. I will try to always keep those in mind when I'm looking through these. And one more thing. If you like us well enough, consider checking out Fable, who, I will try to remember to give a link to his channel down below. He's just reached 200 subscribers, and he has a lot more videos on the Transformers than I do. Well, Transformers the Basics specifically. Anyway, thank you all so much, and if you like Trench Crusade, he also has that. And I'll see you all later. Bye-bye, and take care of yourselves. And remember, you're always more than meets the eye. I can't believe I thought of that right off there. I don't know. Anyway, I'm a cool wolf. See you guys later.